Hey everybody, Paul here. So as promised, I said I would do a couple of markups, and as usual we start on the daily. Now what I normally like to do, as you know, is top and tail. So we will come here, last major high, last low. Now I can see that it's retraced quite considerably, so it's probably going to be worth sticking a fibs on. So you go to your fibs tool and you drag from the top, from the left, down to the right, like so. Now I edited my fibs slightly, so I only had the major areas that I was interested in, the 38.2, 50%, the 61.8 and the 78.6, and I've color coded them accordingly, so when I go further down into the hour and 4 hour, I know what they represent without having to come back out again. And I can see, if it's hitting the 61.8, there's a strong chance that it's going to retrace, which it did. It dropped below the 50% in between the 38 and the 50, and it's just started to go back up towards the 50% again. Okay, so in this instance, the fibs are useful because you can get an idea of how likely it is that the market is going to retrace from there. We'll remove that for now because I know what that's going to do. But also, if we look, we've got a trend line there. If we've got one there, then obviously it's broken out, which is fine. Or it could be there. And then we could potentially see price move up to our trend line, either break through, retest and go high, or meet our trend line and go back down again. Okay, and obviously this is our low, so it's going to get wedged in this corner potentially if it doesn't break the line here. But that's on the daily. We go down to the 4 hour now. And let's see what we got. So it's obviously broken through our trend line a bit. Nothing, I mean, if anything, it's going horizontally for that last bit. So there would be, which tool do I want? That one. So around that area, you could probably just draw a box. Like so, yeah. Because we haven't really got a trend line to speak of. It's just in the process of consolidating up to this daily trend line, which is either going to respect and come down and follow the trend line down, or it's going to break, retest, and then possibly go back up. If we go down to the 1 hour, let's see what we've got now. Again, nothing of any major interest. I mean, that's, that's not going to do you any good at all. I mean, it's very wicky, they're all close together. That's not worth bothering with. So really, the only thing that you could actually consider in this instance would be your daily. Just go to the lines again. If you went from there to that, you've only got one. So you've possibly got two there. So you've got 1, 2, 3 hits to make this trend line confirmed or validate it. And then obviously this one here is still awaiting price to come down and retest here. Downward trend, do you really need to wait to confirm that this is a channel as opposed to just trade the trend line? I wouldn't. I would get in here. So if price respects this trend line, I'm not going to wait all the way down here, which is not far shy of 400 pips. I'm not going to wait that long. You're missing out. Yeah. So, and what's the worst that can happen? If it comes all the way down and breaks through and it's not a validated channel, you've still got 600 or 700 pips. If it comes down a little, or maybe hits that line there, which it could, hit that support area there, and then take off in the wrong direction, how much of a big deal is that if your stop loss is there? So there's the potential of several hundred pips, and you're risking on the daily, that's probably still quite a chunk, but you could actually zoom in and get a better idea. So it could be 50, 60 pips. Probably not best trying to measure it on the daily, but the idea is there. So really, on the lower time frames, I couldn't really see any channels. What you're looking at is the trend line. Yeah, obviously that needs tweaking up a bit because we need 3 bounces for it to be considered tradable. And then we need another 3 on the bottom for the channel to be considered a real channel as well. So you could have a stop loss like that. So you got the opportunity of price still hitting the trend line and coming down, and then bouncing off to make it a legitimate channel, and then go back up again. So the risk reward for GJ is quite high, I would say. So one potentially worth watching. Let's have a look at Euro CAD quickly. I don't know if you can hear in the background, but I've actually got Brazil playing. So if you hear me shout, they've scored again. I've already missed 1 goal. Okay, so the next one then, what have we got here? So let's do it the normal way to start with. So we will top and tail, I can see from here. I mean, you could do it from here, or you could do it from here. Doesn't really matter. Let's do it from the last major high. Going to get a bit messy because, oh, there we go. Just lock that so it doesn't move all over the place. Stick our fibs on. Just see where we're at. And that is not far off, approaching 50%. Okay. So let's see what happens. It could come back and retrace and hit our support area here. Just to give you an idea. We can remove them later though. Okay, let's go to the 4 hour, see what we got on here. Nothing really stands out. Let's get rid of the fibs. We know where we are. Again, it's been a bit of a, because of the market was so random last week, everything seems to be going sideways more than anything else. So, you know, really, without trying to force something, I would probably leave it. Let's just have a play around. One there. Two. A bit close together though, but still two. So not great, but again, even though it's not considered a proper channel, it's not even considered a proper trend line because we've only got 2 touches. But if it respects this line here and comes down, you still trapped it between your 2 lines, your 2 parallel lines. Where can it go? It can only go 2 ways. It's either going to go down or, surprise, surprise, it's going to go up. Actually, it could probably go 3 ways if you want to argue with me. Could go there. You know, just hover around, but when you think about it, it's still going up. Depending on where you get in, obviously. I don't imagine going down to the 1 hour is going to make much difference, but let's have a quick look. It's quite steep. Put the candles on. See, I don't like the way it sort of just breaks through quite effortlessly. So something to keep an eye on, but it's not great because that could quite easily just come back up here. To this area here. Quite easily. So this doesn't look as good as the previous one, and the previous one only looked really half decent on the daily. But I hope that gives you a bit more of an idea of how I trade. Obviously, depending on what you're greeted with, it's not just always a matter of top and tail, fibs, 4 hour, 1 hour, find your channel and go, because sometimes the channel isn't there. And okay, that's fine. You can just move on to the next one. But for example, last week, I think I took 2 trades and that was it. And one I got beaten by the news with. The other one I think was okay. I'd need to go back and check. But A, I was really busy, so I didn't really have a huge amount of time. But B, also, the market was just very, very random. And yeah, for my style of trading, it was very difficult to find decent trades. And that's fine. And that's what I like about this, is, you have a set criteria. You don't look horizontally anymore. I mean, I've given you a few examples of where it does come in useful, but once you've got a trend and, it does respect your line, even though it's not considered a legitimate channel because you haven't had your 3 touches, although probably actually, if we zoomed in, let's just zoom in. I should have done that, shouldn't I? Let's just zoom in. You could probably argue, actually, to be fair, that amongst that lot you probably have got 3. I mean, this would really count as 1 where the wicks are really close together, and it's the zone as well, so you could use your parallel channels like so, and you could say, well, all of this area, just like you do with your horizontal support and resistance, you can do exactly the same with your diagonal, like that. So you could argue that there are actually 3 touches there, but I don't like the way that it's all, stuck together and wicky. And so yeah, there's 2 ideas for you. I hope you find that useful. As usual, feel free to place your questions and your comments below, and I'll get back to you. This will stay in Facebook for a while, and then I'll probably move it to the website. If you've been to the website, transparentforextraders.com, you will see that it's not anything special. There is work to be done, but it's just somewhere to store some of the videos and the trading ideas for you to learn from, and you don't have to go hunting through Facebook trying to find it, because within a day or 2 everything just sort of disappears and it takes you ages to find it. So yeah, have a nice evening, and I'll speak to you probably tomorrow, if not later today. And yeah, questions, comments, let me know. Cheers now.